In this video, you'll find out who are soul family. And over the next few minutes, I'll reveal some key points about soul families, and I'll share 3 tips to help you identify members of your soul family and how to recognize them. So welcome to Well of Wisdom, where I answer your questions and share spiritual tips, tools and techniques to inspire and uplift you on your journey of spiritual awakening, personal growth and holistic healing. I'm Ofsoské-Wyber, and with over 45 years of experience helping tens of thousands of clients and teaching students around the world, I make the sacred wisdom of my ancient spiritual lineage available to you. Now, many years ago, I did a talk at an event of about 100 people, and I asked if they thought there was such a thing as soul family, and nearly all 100 people said yes. And I asked them, what was the attraction, or why would they want to connect with their soul family? And the individual answers all had a similar flavour or theme. They included to have a sense of belonging, to feel good when around their soul family. They felt they'd come home. They wanted to come home to their soul family. They wanted to be with like-minded others, and they felt they could talk about soulful things and reveal their innermost thoughts and feelings to their soul family. They wanted to feel accepted, wanted to be with people they felt a deep affinity with. Many felt they didn't get on with their own family and had always felt the odd one out and wanted to feel they belonged somewhere and wanted to feel supported. So sounds good, doesn't it? So your soul families are that, but they are so much more than that. So who are your soul family? How do you recognise them, and why is it so important to find them? Well, let's start with relationships. As an individual soul on our journey through life, through lifetimes, there are many experiences we will have and many lessons to learn on our journey. But one of the most important, if not the most important lesson, is to learn the art of relatedness and relationship. Now, as we know, there are many different types of relationship. But if we are to increase our chances of learning the lessons of relatedness, then one of the first things we need to understand is that there are 3 basic types of relationships that we need to be aware of. They are relationship with oneself, relationship with one's blood family or family of origin, and relationship with one's soul family. From a metaphysical point of view, they all offer a massive opportunity for growth and evolution. Each one is a classroom of learning for us as an evolving soul as we struggle to understand and master the sacred art of relating, relationship and relatedness. And while all of these types of relationship are important, my focus in this video is on the 3rd type, soul family and soul families. Now, just as an aside, that term soul family is often used interchangeably and incorrectly with the term soul group and soul tribe. But these are different things and have quite different meanings. And in this video, I'm specifically talking about soul family or soul families. The whole subject of soul families is another one of those metaphysical topics around which there seems to be a lot of misunderstanding, confusion and misinformation, not to mention a somewhat unrealistic and naive take on the whole concept. So we've already established some of the feel-good reasons that we want to connect with our soul family, but let's look more deeply into the subject. Some very, very interesting points. A soul family is composed of souls who have a common and particular metaphysical connection and objective. For example, the students of the Medicine Woman Centre for Shamanic and Esoteric Studies are a soul family. The metaphysical connection between members in a soul family is complex and has a protracted history that may have spanned many lifetimes. The members of the soul family are souls that have incarnated with and interacted with each other before, usually many lifetimes before. And the primary objective of the soul family is to both ensure the individuals grow and evolve, and also to help each individual to grow and evolve as a soul in a particular way through being part of the collective soul mind. In a soul family, the interconnecting strands are just as intricate and complicated as in human blood family relationships. And inevitably, karmic threads are interwoven throughout them. And just like in human families, there are souls in our soul family that we will spend more time with than others. These dynamics will also change through time and circumstance. So all soul family interactions will have karmic, complex connections woven through them. So soul families are not just love and light and everybody living happily ever after. In fact, one of the reasons we come together with our soul family is to make it easier, to make the hard choices that enable us to grow and evolve as a soul. Growth and evolution is not comfortable. So in a healthy, developmental soul family, we can expect, in fact, we should expect, that members of our soul family will push our buttons, will challenge us, will issue us with an unspoken invitation to grow up, to move out of our comfort zones. Just like in human families, in soul families, there are often complex dynamics and unfinished or unresolved business, things that need to be tidied up. In a healthy soul family, those karmic connections and challenges are celebrated, honoured, and upheld as part of the weft and the warp of the fabric of the soul family, and are seen as opportunities for looking deeply into or at oneself. So as a soul, we are not bound by the constraints of our birth family of origin, and we are free to align with those fellow travellers or souls that we wish to make a deep connection with and create linkages and ties with. But to exercise our free will wisely as a soul in this regard and to act intelligently for our greater good, we have to know that there are many different kinds and types and orders of soul families. And often we can make our choice of aligning with a soul family based on the easy option, the feel-good factor, which as a soul can often be the defining and driving force for reconnecting and bonding with the soul family. But if we take off the blinkers and we look beyond the easy option, beyond the feel-good factor, then we'll see there's a much bigger picture. So 3 main points about soul families that can help you recognize yours. 1, commonality. What brings members of a soul family together is a sense of commonality in some form. Now, commonality means the sharing of common features, attributes, objectives, or experiences. And I'm not talking physical features or attributes here, but soul features, attributes, objectives, and experiences. For instance, one soul family may be working to develop a particular type of relationship with the natural world. Another may be working to perfect the activity to serve through healing people or assisting others on their healing journey. There are also soul families that are aligned to the dark side and maybe, or the negative side of the battery, and maybe working to develop a capacity to be conduits for imbalanced energies. So commonality goes beyond liking or disliking a person or an individual. It's about souls having shared or common interests, shared or common objectives that may change and evolve as you do. So a soul may be in a soul family that is collectively working toward a specific initiation. Not all of the souls may necessarily go through the initiatory experience at the same time. Once the objective has been achieved, then that soul is free to move up and on to the next objective and family associated with that objective. So tip number 1, Identify what the soul commonality is that you seek. This will give you a starting point. Common soul interests are a good place to start. Tip number 2, vibrational frequency. The soul family will have a particular vibrational frequency. I'll explain that. The type of subtle energetic commonality that brings individual souls together will determine the vibrational frequency of the soul family. And in other words, the soul family consists of souls that have in part developed the capacity to resonate at a similar energetic frequency. And this vibrational frequency will have a bandwidth that is able to be heard at some level by other souls, like radio stations sending out their music. It connects them, the souls, no matter how far apart they may be in physical terms. For instance, souls that are drawn together with a healing mindset and see themselves as family will have a different commonality and subsequent vibrational frequency than those souls who come together as families and have a commonality and energetic frequency that's created for the soul requirement to, say, walk the pilgrim's way. So tip number 2, use your clairsentient, be discerning. Start to identify vibrational frequencies. As a general rule of thumb, the more the members of the soul family are in untransmuted personality mode or doing what they do for personal satisfaction, the lower the frequency is. You tend to make the connection with your soul family through the heart center, which is called, in esoteric terms, the seat of the soul. Number 3, a purpose. The soul family will have a purpose or an objective for coming together, for staying together and working together. So what's the objective of the soul family? Why have they come together? What keeps them together? What's the binding glue? What are they seeking to achieve or do individually and as a collective? So we could use the metaphor of a group of carpenters. We have a group of carpenters who come together. They have commonality. They like working with wood and building things. And so they have the frequency of craftsmen. They recognize that frequency in each other. But, 3, okay, what now? What are they going to do? What are they going to make together? What's the point of them coming together? So it's not always easy to identify this because the common objective or purpose the soul family has exists at a subconscious reality and can usually only be felt as a heart connection or a sense of deep connectedness and rightness. It's not usually a thought, but more of a sense of feeling. So tip number 3, being part of a soul family means being part of a soul collective who are undergoing a particular journey to develop a particular soul quality or qualities, and being part of that family transcends time and space. And now I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Share one aha moment you've had about soul families. See you same place, same time, same channel, where I'll be answering another of your questions with so much love. So here are a selection of 6 teachings on a developmental soul family from my own tradition, the House of the Bee. These are the teachings that are at the heart of the First Light Flower Essences of New Zealand and Medicine Woman family of students. 1. The developmental soul family is one that has come together and is working for constructive soul purposes or objectives for the upliftment of the members of the soul family, for the soul family as a whole, for the world, and for the greater universe, while being a hub of learning and a matrix for evolutionary growth for each of its members. 2. The purpose of a developmental soul family is to invite you to come home to yourself by being part of a metaphysical matrix where you can claim your own individual space in the family or hive, your right to be fully present on the physical plane, and your right to be all you can be in order to be of service to humanity. 3. In a developmental soul family, change is celebrated, honoured, and upheld in all its forms. The matrix of the hive is in a constant state of evolutionary change as souls grow, evolve, and change, as lives wax and wane, and as the tides of power ebb and flow and run and return again. 4. Members of the soul family come into each other's lives at key times for greater or shorter periods of time to support each other in their earthly journey of evolutionary growth. In the language of the soul family, 5. In the language of the soul family or hive, support means to support you in your growth, to be all you can be, to be more than you currently know yourself to be. Support does not mean to support you to stay small and in your comfort zone. It means to support you to move out of your comfort zone, just as much as it does to help nurture and hold sacred space with and for you. 6. Each member of a healthy soul family has the potential to be a clear mirror for themselves and for others. This means having the ability to reflect back with no judgment, to look honestly at oneself, one's actions, behaviours, beliefs, projections, delusions, and lies about oneself.